streets are cracked, weeds breaking through, windows boarded, sky bruised and blue. The diner's sign swings in the wind, no one's inside, no coffee to mend. The church bell's rusted, it don't ring no more. Silence lingers where prayers once poured. The whole town left and no one forgave. A ghost on the map, a town dug its grave. Dust on the memories, ashes in the rain. The whole town left, carried its pain. The mill shut down, it broke their backs. Dreams packed in trucks, no looking back. The schoolyard swings, hang limp in the air. Echoes of laughter, now ghosts linger there. The courthouse clock, stuck on a time when hope was alive before the decline. Do you hear it? The wind still cries, a chorus of whispers, a town that died. The whole town left and no one forgave. A ghost on the map, a town dug its grave. Dust on the memories, ashes in the rain. The whole town left, carried its pain. Maybe it was greed, maybe it was pride, maybe it was secrets too dark to confide. They tore at each other till nothing remained. The whole town left with the blame. Fields were torn where the weed once grew. Crows circle high, black against the blue. A church bell hung, silent and cracked, and every soul gone, no one's coming back. The wind tells stories hollow and cold of young men buried before they turned old. Not even the dead were spared the war, graves ripped open, peace no more. Echoes of gunfire, screams in the dust, steel and fire, grinding bone to rust. Not even the dead, not even the dead caress their heads when the war was fed. Crosses lean in the graveyard's mud, names etched faint, lost in the flood. A mother's tears dried on the stone. Now the ghosts are left to roam. The ground still trembles under my feet, as if it remembers the march of defeat. earth won't heal. This scar's too deep, too raw, too real. Not even the dead will spare the war. Graves ripped open, peace no more. Echoes of gunfire, screams in the dust. Steel and fire, grinding bone to rust. Not even the dead, not even the dead could rest their heads when the war was the preacher's voice broke in the breeze. Lord, where were you in times like these? But the heavens stayed quiet as they often do, while the soul drank blood red and true. A cracked lantern swings in the hollow wind. Its flame whispers where the world begins. Shadows dance like ghosts across the stones. Every path I've walked has led me alone. The trees, they don't answer. The stars, they just stare. Flickering lanterns, lighting only silence, guiding me to nothing but dead ends. Every step's a question, every turn pretends. Flickering lanterns, my only friends. Boot heels scrape on gravel thin and dry. The night eats the sound, not even an echo replies. I've prayed to the dark, I've screamed at the still, but the cold don't bargain, it bends no will. The wind, it won't carry. The sky, it won't bend. Flickering lanterns, lighting only silence, guiding me to nothing but dead ends. Every step's a question, every turn pretends. Flickering lanterns, my only friend. When ashes fall like black snow, middle of July. The sky wears a funeral shroud, no answers to why. Crows circle low, shadows on the ground. The air tastes of endings, no comfort to be found. Ashes in July, they choke the light, turning day into an endless night. The world's on fire and the heavens cry. Ashes fall like black snow, and I just ask why. Fields once golden, now charcoal and bone. The land I once knew now feels overthrown. The river runs thick, a mirror of despair. Each breath is a struggle in this smothering air. Who lit the match? Who struck the spark? Who left this world to burn in the dark? Ashes in July that choke the light, turning day into an endless night. The world's on fire and the heavens cry. Ashes fall like black snow, and I just ask why. Memories burn like the trees, lost voices carried on the breeze. A scream tears lose, shakes the ground, but no one answers, no one's around. Light's been burning for 17 years, through the winters, the rains, and the dust of my tears. The mailbox is empty, the garden's gone wild. Not a soul's crossed this threshold, not man, not child. Empty beds and locked doors, homes no one returns to anymore. The echoes stay, but the footsteps fade, and the silence grows sharper with each passing day. There's a chair by the fire, its cushion worn thin, like it's still waiting for someone to sink back in. A coat on the rack, a clock on the wall, both frozen in time, though the hours still crawl. I scream their names to the night, but the stars, they just stay quiet. Empty beds and locked doors, homes no one returns to anymore. the laughter's gone and the shadows linger where the light's withdrawn. The windows are fogged with the weight of regret. The air's full of whispers that I can't forget. Each creak of the floor, each groan of the wood tells a story of leaving I misunderstood. The tower clock froze, hands stuck in the air, a silent witness to the fire's cruel glare. The streets turned to ash, the sky to stone, a town left hollow, a world overthrown. Time don't move, it just sits and stares, mocking the pain that lingers still there. The bomb hit hard, but the heart hit worse. The tower clock froze, locked in its curse. A mother clutches dust where a child once stood, the echo of laughter lost in the soot. The church bell cracked, the hymns now screams, a city drowning in shattered dreams. And the clock, it knows it keeps the grief, its hands unmoving like a thief. Time don't move, it just sits and stares, mocking the pain that lingers still there. The bomb hit hard, but the heart hit worse. The tower clock froze, locked in its curse. Oh, the ticket's gone, but the weight remains, a ghost of a world now soaked in flames. We beg for the past, but it won't return, just the tower's shadow where memories burn. The sign out front is rusted thin. Welcome to a town where dreams begin. But dreams, they fled like shadows at dawn, left us here where the world feels wrong. The wind don't howl, it moans instead through broken homes where prayers are said. Greetings from the hollow ground, where the echoes are the loudest sound. No one's left to fight, to cry, to thrive. Greetings from a town where no one's left alive. Cracked in '92, now it rings for ghosts
Passing through the bar still stands, but the doors won't swing. Just a bottle and dust where we used to sing. Of the mines caved in, the crops went dry, and the stars stopped shining in the sky. You can run, but you can't outrun the sea. Every road here's a rattlesnake. Stray dogs howl toward the scorched chapel. Their shadows stretch across the bone-dry gravel. Moon hangs low, a ghost in the sky. The wind whispers names of the ones who died. Ashes in the air, a prayer undone. The church bell silent, the preacher's gone. Stray dogs howl and the night grows black. A hymn for the lost that ain't coming back. Splintered, the cross leans askew, windows blown out, stained glass bleeding through. Crows perch high on the steeple's edge, watching the living mourn the dead. Oh, mercy's a dream left to decay, where the stray dogs cry, the faithful stray. Ashes in the air, a prayer undone. The church bell silent, the preacher's gone. Stray dogs howl and the night grows black. A hymn for the lost that ain't coming back. The earth holds secrets buried in deep, tales of the faith who sold what they dreamed. The fire came down, no warning, no sound, and left behind ruins where hope once was found.
Shadows lean across the wall. We're breathing slow. The silence calls, dust on the sill. The clock unwound, the weight of loss, a heavy sound. Each tick, each talk, a ghostly trace. Time dripped away in this hollowed space. Her hands once stitched the fabric tight, now they trembled in the dying light. The final candle flickered out. No more whispers, no more shouts. The flame that held her through the year died with the echoes of her tears. The rocking chair swayed with a creak, like it longed for her to speak. The quilt she pieced, the colors bled, all turned to ash in her weary head. The floorboards moaned beneath her shoes as if they felt her aching blues. Her voice once sang a hymn so sweet, now it's silence where songs would meet. The final candle flickered out. No more whispers, no more shouts. The flame that held her through the year died with the echoes of her tears. The old jukebox in the corner's cracked. This neon glow, just a memory's track. No quarters drop, no songs will play. The silence grows, it's here to stay. The last song stopped long ago, buried under dust where no winds blow. Echoes fade in the shadows throw. The last song stopped, it left no note. The bar stool's empty, it tells no lies. The bottle's dry, like these tearless eyes. A cobweb strings on a guitar's neck, a melody lost in the red. I scream to the walls, but they don't reply. Only the ghosts can hear me cry. The last song stopped long ago, buried under dust where no winds blow. Echoes fade in the shadows throw. The last song stopped, it left no note. Every chord was a prayer, every verse a plea, but time's a thief that stole the key. What's left of the tune, just a ghost refrain, haunting my heart with its endless pain.
bar stool sits in the corner alone, worn leather cracked like a heart turned to stone. It's seen the weight of 1,000 nights, but tonight it weighs 100 dim neon lights. The bar stool waits for a drinker who never came back. The jukebox hums a tune, but the room's gone black. Whiskey glasses lined dust settles on the rack. The bar stool waits for a drinker who never came back. A shadow lingers where he used to lean, fingers tracing the grain, lost in the unseen. He left a dead-end stories and a name in smoke, but the chair don't ask why and the barkeep won't joke. The door swings wide, but it's never his face, just strangers who fill but can't replace. The bar stool waits for a drinker who never came back. The jukebox hums a tune, but the room's gone black. Whiskey glasses lined dust settles on the rack. The bar stool waits for a drinker who never came back. Find peace in the arms of the night, or wander lost in a place we can't see, like the echo of a voice haunting memory. Smoke rolls thick from the devil's breath, the window straight into the mouth of death. The sky's bruised, a crimson stain, ashes fall like a bitter rain. I see the shadows dance in flames. Every ghost here knows my name. A window looking straight into hell, where broken hearts and secrets dwell. The fire burns, but it won't cleanse. It's a place where all hope ends. The floorboards creak beneath my boots. This house of lies bears bitter roots. I hear the whispers
screams back, a haunting voice from the pitch black, the weight of sins I can't undo. Through the glass I see what I've turned into. The past is carved in every beam, this house a coffin for every dream. The devil's grin and the fiery glow through the window, the truth I know.
The ground shakes, the sky's on fire, echoes of war, a haunting choir. Mud and blood beneath my feet, the past and prison cruelly meet. The air is thick with iron sting, the devil laughs, his bullets sing. A hollow howl cuts through the night, memories burn in the dim twilight. Artillery storms tearing through the sky, ripping through soil where the lost souls lie. Each thunderous roar, tale untold, a life forgotten, a heart turned cold. The faces fade, but the scars remain. The echoes scream through the falling rain. A soldier's cry, a mother's plea, their ghosts march still inside of me. I shout to the heavens, but silence replies. The weight of the past won't let me rise. Each shell that falls, a chapter of pain, written in smoke etched in my brain. Artillery storms tearing through the sky, ripping through soil where the lost souls lie. Each thunderous roar, a tale untold, a life forgotten, a heart turned cold. Blood-red coffins line the field, a story left untold. The soil drinks the sorrow, the young and brave turn cold. A mother's tears stain the earth, or a boy won't come back home. The echoes of the cannon sing where the silence roams. Blood-red coffins, a soldier's lullaby, covered in the shadows of the ones who had to die. The truth is buried deeper than the graves we see. War's harsh reality, it ain't meant to set us free. The generals sip their whiskey, maps spread on the floor, while boys with trembling hands march off to settle scores. The moon hangs heavy, watching blood spill in the night, and the stars turn their faces from the horror of the fight. Blood-red coffins, a soldier's lullaby, to set us free. The preacher says they're heroes, their sacrifice divine, but their screams still haunt the trenches, caught in the barbed wire line. Their medals shine in silence, their stories left unsaid. For every flag that's flying, there's a name carved for the dead. A child walks the battlefield, her eyes wide with fear. She sees the broken rifles and the helmets scattered near. Her tiny hands are trembling as she kneels down to pray. In a world of blood-red coffins, how do we find our way?
Bodies float downstream where the river bends so wide, through the pines and briars where the ghosts of men still hide. Each ripple tells a tale of blood spilled in the fight. The current carries whispers through the silence of the night. Oh, the river knows the truth. It holds the cries and screams. The weight of war's dark memories flows in its endless streams. It bears the heavy burden of what men cannot say, and washes down the sorrow till it fades into the grave. Rusty dog tags glint beneath the water's muted glare. Letters lost and torn, a lover's grief left hanging there. The trees stand like mourners, the roots drink up the pain, as the river swallows secrets that no soul can explain. Oh, the river knows the truth. It holds the cries and screams. The weight of war's dark memories flows in its endless stream. It bears the heavy burden of what men cannot say, and washes down the sorrow till it fades into the grave. Sometimes it roars, sometimes it moans, a voice too raw to tame. It echoes back the horrors, the faces without names. The waters churn and boil like anger held too long, and then fall still as if to mourn. The silence feels so wrong. The banks are lined with shadows, a testament to cost. Each soul a piece of history, each life a line that's crossed. The river keeps on flowing through the years and through the pain, carrying war's dark memories like a never-ending.
The shovel bites the cold, hard clay. Another grave to mark the day. The preacher mumbles words of grace, while grief carved lines on every face.
box rests on trembling ground. The silence wraps a hollow sound. A mother's wail splits through the air. Hot tears fall heavy, full of despair. Cold earth and hot tears at every burial. The weight of loss feels so surreal. Each spade of dirt, a chapter closed. Bury the love that we once chose. The moon hangs low, a witness still. Its pale light fades on the distant hill. The crows take flight, their cries a song for the ones we've loved and now gone. Oh, the dark keeps secrets deep and cruel. A heart becomes a stranger's tool. With every scream a soul does fray, as life's warmth slips further away. Cold earth and hot tears at every burial. The weight of loss feels so surreal. Each spade of dirt, a chapter closed. Bury the love that we once chose. The stove's gone cold, the ashes reek. A lonesome chair where no one stays. The clock ticks off, the mournful sound. In this hollow place, no life is found. The windows rattle, the wind slides in, whispering ghost of where we've been. Shadows stretch where love once grew. Cold kitchens wait for a life they knew. Empty halls, no echoes sing, just the weight of what loss can bring. Houses stand with hearts of stone, rooms forgotten, left alone. The floorboards creak beneath my boots. A ghostly waltz of broken roots. A picture hangs, its colors bled. Faces smiling, now long dead. The air is thick, the past won't fade. Every corner a memory made. Screaming out my voice.
and stained with the weight of the soil, digging graves in the midnight toil. Each mound a story, each plot a name, but the ghosts rise up whispering blame. Hands that buried hundreds in the ground, but can't lay to rest the cries that sound. Every shovel's thrust, a shadow remains, a past that haunts like blood in my veins. I've walked the fields where the tombstones lie, each one a witness, each one a sigh. The wind cuts sharp like a guilty plea, a choir of the lost sings to me. Oh, the dirt may cover, but it never hides the faces etched in the dark of my mind. I scream to the heavens, but no one replies, just the echoes of the dead in the blackened skies. Hands that buried hundreds in the ground, but can't lay to rest the cries that sound. Every shovel's thrust, a shadow remains, a past that haunts like blood in my veins. The whiskey burns, but it won't erase the weight of the lives I can't replace. I hear their voices in the cold hard rain. The hands of a sinner can't cleanse the stain. Low on the timberline, a ghostly glow through the pines. Hungry wolves howl the lonesome cry, while fighter jets split the midnight sky. The earth it trembles, the heavens weep, steel wings above where shadows creep, a clash of beasts and man's regret. Hungry wolves and fighter jets. Runs wild through fields of stone, chasing prey, but they're not alone. The engines roar like a fiery breath, echoing the dance of life and death. The earth that trembles, the heavens weep, steel wings above where shadows creep, a clash of beasts and man's regret. Hungry wolves peace won't stay. The sky remembers the fight of yesterday. Hungry wolves and fighter jets collide in a world where no one can truly hide.
Line snakes around the corner in the cold and bitter rain. Empty hands clutching paper, trading hunger for the pain. Echoes in the distance, the bombs shake the hollow ground. A silent prayer for mercy, but no answers to be found. Lines for bread, shadows cast so long. Dreams turn to whispers where the weak don't belong. Echoes of the thunder still meets the sky. We wait for tomorrow as the living learn to cry. The old man shakes and shivers, his breath a cloud of frost. His story is lost in whispers, a history embossed. The children hold their mothers, their eyes too young to see that hope is just a stranger and freedom's not for free. Lines for bread, shadows cast so long. Dreams turn to whispers where the weak don't belong. Echoes of the thunder still meets the sky. We wait for tomorrow as the living learn to cry. Falling, tearing through the night. The stars they used to follow have vanished out of sight. A scream cuts through the silence, a voice too raw to heal. It carries all our sorrow, it's the only thing that's real. Moonlight paints the faces, weary, pale, and worn. Each one tells a story of a life so bruised and torn. And yet we keep on standing, though the weight feels like stone. Together in this darkness, none of us alone. The skies turn black, the sirens moan. The house feels colder, I'm all alone. Dust settles thick on the window pane. I call for mama, but it's all in vain. The clock ticks loud, each second crawls. Shadows stretch long across these walls. I clutch her picture, hold it tight, praying she'll come home tonight. Mama, are you safe down there? The world shakes, the kind of sound that heartbreak makes. I run to the door, my breath is thin, hoping, praying you'll walk in. The silence cuts sharper than a knife. Each moment feels like a stolen life. I scream your name into the void. A little boy lost, his heart destroyed. Mama, are you safe down there? The world above is cracked and bare. I'm just a child lost in the storm, waiting for your arms to keep me warm. The field was quiet, the battle done. Smoke and ash eclipsed the sun. The flag still waved, but hearts lay torn. Victory's weight, a crown of thorns. The soil drank deep of blood and rain. The echo screamed of endless pain. I stood alone, my brother's gone. The cost too high for what we want. What's the price of glory? Tell me true. When the sky's gone black and there's nothing new, the songs of triumph don't ease the ache. Victory's a shadow you can't escape. A mother's tears, a widow's cry, the whispers haunt beneath the sky. Each step I take, their faces glare. The ghosts of war, they're always there. Shout to the heavens, beg for peace, but silence answers. It never speaks. The medals tarnish, the banners fade, and in my chest a debt unpaid. What's the price of glory? Tell me true. When the sky's gone black and there's nothing new, the songs of triumph don't ease the ache. Victory's a shadow you can't escape.
He stood by the door, boots on the floor, the ring in his hand. He swore he'd do more, promised he'd fight for the land of the free, but he left me behind with the weight of that plea. The sky turned to black as the seasons rolled by. No letters, no whispers, just silence to cry. I waited each night with the lamp burning low, but the man with the ring never walked through the snow. The ring he took, it still haunts my dreams. A cold, bitter truth that tears at the seams. The vows that we made, now buried and gone. The ring he took, but his soul's moving on. I still see a shadow out there in the field, the ghost of a promise, a heart left unhealed. The winds carry whispers of battles he'd fight, but the war took his body and swallowed the light. I screamed to the heavens, but the stars didn't care. They just blinked in their coldness, my grief laid bare. A widow in waiting, though papers say no. The ring he took burns in the frost and the woe. The ring he took, it still haunts my dreams. A cold, bitter truth that tears at the seams. The vows that we made, now buried and gone. The ring he took, but his soul's moving on. The wheel stood still at the edge of town, where the moonlight fell and the pines looked down. But the water's black, it don't shine no more, tainted with smoke and blood from a war. Oh, the village cries, the air's so thick, ashes and whispers make the clock tick. No drink to quench, no way to pray. The only well's gone, lost its way. Mothers call the children who won't come home. The fields lay barren, the soil won't grow. A bucket load brings nothing but pain, a taste of sorrow in every chain. Oh, the village cries, the air's so thick, ashes and whispers make the clock tick. No drink to quench, no way to pray. The only well's gone, lost its way. Smoke rises high where the fire once fed. Ghosts of the living and ghosts of the dead. A scream breaks loose, a curse on the land, a poison well by a stranger's hand. The preacher's words echo hollow and dry, his prayers get lost in the broken sky. They'll leave this place, but the mark will stay, a scar in the earth that won't fade away. is bare, the dust hangs low, the blood-soaked earth no longer glows. The flags are torn, the wind stands still, the echoes fade yet haunt me still. When the marching drums fall silent and the bugles cry no more, only sorrow walks beside me through this dark and hollow war. The shadows creep where brothers lay, no prayers to bring the light of day. The smoke is gone, but scars remain, a battlefield of endless pain. When the marching drums fall silent and the bugles cry no more, only sorrow walks beside me through this dark and hollow war. The stars don't shine like they did before. The river runs red to the distant shore. I scream at the moon, but it don't reply. Just me and this sorrow 'neath the blackened sky. The boots are gone, the rifles rust, the dreams we had all turned to dust. The songs we sang now bitter ash, our futures lost in a violent flash. The clock strikes 12, the town is still. A widow's sigh rolls down the hill. Her hands once warm now clasp the cold. A love gone young, her heart turned old. The porch light burns, the shadows creep. A rifle hangs where dreams used to sleep. The chair is empty, the boots are dust. She whispers prayers to steel and rust. Oh, the widow's waltz, they dance alone to a mournful tune, the past they've known. Each step a tear, each twirl a scar, their partners lost in a distant star. The letters fade, the ink turns gray. Promises made in a yesterday. The field is quiet,
the battle done, but grief keeps marching one by one. Raise your voices, cry to the skies for sons and lovers who said goodbyes. The stars bear witness, the moon it weeps for generation lost, and secrets it keeps